Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Exciting times in the crypto market. Yeah, finally, finally we don't see boring movement again. So we see a little bit of interesting price action, even though not too much happened. I mean, it's not like, we're going to the moon here when we might be, but certainly don't have any signs for that yet. Just some early indication that we might be heading higher and that we will follow here our wave count that hasn't really changed for, I guess, half a year. We've been tracking this impulse since, I would say January 23, then moved up. At some point, expected that pullback in a wave 2 happened. Okay, so this was the first larger swing trade trend reversal area. Nice and colorful on the chart. Still a lot of people missed an entry here, but it was large, it was colorful. Then we rallied out of this area, in a 5-wave move, in what I consider an impulse. A lot of people still bearish on Bitcoin. I always found this quite a bullish structure as a 5-wave move up, 3-wave move down, another 5-wave move up, 3-wave move down, hit our nice and colorful big trend reversal area. Still, apparently, a lot of people missed an entry, but I'm giving up. I think people are always, I'm not telling you when to buy, right? I can only highlight to you the areas where I believe reward is favorable and risk is low, right? And I'm giving up. I think people will always miss entries anyway. But people will always miss. They will always try to wait for an even lower price, and then when the lower price comes, they're not going to buy. But yeah, these were two fantastic trend reversal areas. They're always in the chart so that you get an understanding where price ideally in this structure will turn around. And so far, I think it's happened and is working out very nicely. Of course, there's never a guarantee that these hold, but these were the two main ones that we have here on the 4-hour chart. And as soon as price leaves the area, it is reasonable. You don't have to do that, but it's reasonable to move the stop loss into break even or into profit, right? That's what you can do to take risk out. Okay, so the idea is that this was a wave 1 an impulse. This was a wave 2 to the downside. This was a wave 1 in an impulse. This was a wave 2 to the downside. Corrective. You can clearly see how corrective the move down was. Of course, you can never rule out that it's maybe in a bearish wave count, a leading diagonal to the downside. But without having evidence, this is less likely. A lot of bears out there. Okay, so on this channel, we've been actually fairly bullish with this wave structure here. I highlighted to you that, I'm bullish until price really breaks below first 22k, and then it would need to take out 17.5k to take out the second bullish scenario as well. But it hasn't happened, right? So we remain focused on our bullish wave count here. Of course, there will always have to be some bearish wave counts for info so that you can, just for risk management purposes, right? Because we don't want to be caught out. So scenario planning is very important in analyzing and trading these markets. Okay, so what else to highlight? So yeah, at the moment, nothing to, it's just working out. And I see this as a 1-2-1-2 setup, obviously, which would result in a third wave rally. If this is really a third wave, I just need to repeat that. I tried to communicate that message many times before. It can be very fast. It will catch a lot of people out. Here on the 15th of June, which was basically exactly the low I said we could have had the bottom in, the low could be in. Of course, you don't know without seeing 5 waves up, but be aware if those 5 waves happen, then it can be very, very fast. And I think that is what we see now. Still a lot of people surprised, but hey, this is what the market does, Not to be surprised is key, and that's why I highlighted it. But the idea is, if this really is a third wave, then it could take us to 40k, okay? The 1.618 extension. So that's sort of a scenario that I'm certainly following right now. Of course, I will also show you in this video the short-term bearish wave count. But yeah, and taking the bigger picture into account, at the moment, that means that I think we're in the early stages of a bull run. I don't think it will necessarily be very easy. I think when too many people get hyped, it will give us some setbacks. I think that is something that we just need to be expecting in today's markets. It will be very choppy, and I think it will be a rocky road to the upside. Okay, I did explain before that this could also, instead of being an impulse, the move up could also be a diagonal It could be a diagonal in that this here, for example, is an A wave, a B wave, and we're rallying up in a larger C wave, which would also be bullish, but it could indicate a lot of choppiness along the way. Okay, just be aware of that. But I don't have strong evidence for it, so I don't put that onto the chart as my primary. But knowing that, yeah, on the move up, it could be very, very choppy. It might not be that clean, extreme third wave that we normally expect. For everybody who's new and is not familiar with Elliott Wave, a third wave should normally be the most aggressive wave. Yeah, and if this really rallies and we have confirmation as soon as price breaks. By the way, we're now at this wave 1 high, yeah, in terms of resistance. So that's an important level to take out at 29.2k. And then we've got 31k. If 31k breaks, we really have confirmation that the third wave rally is ongoing. Bear in mind, confirmation doesn't mean certainty, okay, very clearly. But this would be a third wave of a third wave rally, typically a very aggressive rally. So now let's go to the one. Oh, maybe one more thing here. Bearish wave count, yes. Bearish wave count would be to understand this as a WXY structure, and then here as an A, B, C, and then we should come down. But I said to you, it's not worth focusing on a bearish count as long as we're holding bullish support. Okay, at least that's my take on it. Okay, so let's zoom in. Highlighted yesterday to you in many videos that as long as we're holding the trend line, price will extend higher. Yeah, be aware that in the third wave, price will always extend higher than many people believe. People will always wait for a setback, even though we've just come from an area where reward is high and risk is low. So we had a possible wave 1 here, a wave 2. I showed you 2 bullish counts yesterday. I took one off the chart because it is following the direct count in a third wave here, as it seems. Okay, and I've added now a micro count for that. So the idea is that this correction in a wave 2 finished here on the 15th of June in our trend reversal area, rallied in a 5-wave move, but it would have to be a diagonal. Yeah, first wave of a diagonal, then a wave 2 down. Would be very shallow. Don't like that look, but it's possible. Let me take that one out, by the way. Don't need that anymore. And then here a possible third wave rally now ongoing. So I showed you yesterday the Fibonacci extensions and said, okay, if we get the the white count here, and if we don't break the trend line, then and by the way, as long as 26, no, what was it, 20, what was the level, I think 26,715, as long as that level is holding, the white count can be followed and is valid. Okay, and in this white wave count, we're looking for round about the 1.618 extension for the third wave. Now we've nearly got there already, so nearly there. And by the way, we're nearly at the structural resistance here, this previous wave 1 high. This is going to be an important breakout point. Wave 3 should normally take that out. Let's see. The idea is, okay, you know, we could be here within third wave of a third wave. And if we're in a third wave of a third wave, then this is going to escalate a bit higher. I have therefore added support, bullish support. This is what I'm going to do much more if we really are getting into the larger third wave, because in a third wave, it doesn't make so much sense to show the micro count, because people will try to sell the peaks and buy back the lows, but the lows will be very, you know, the setbacks will be very shallow. So all I'm going to do is to add support, right? Support doesn't mean it has to get there. It just means that as long as this area is holding, and price can go higher in the current structure. And at the moment, this 50% retracement level down there, which is relevant here, is 27,875. So as long as that level is holding, if Bitcoin decides to get a deeper pullback, and it would be this wave 4, then as long as this 50% level is holding, it can push higher once more in a 5th wave. After the 5 waves, it can be that we get a deeper pullback, yeah? But I would always pay attention here to the trend line. That might be relevant. Now, for an alternative bearish count, we should be aware that the top could be a high B wave. How would that work out? I don't like that count, but it's possible as an A wave down, a high B wave, and we could then still come down in a C wave. That's of course possible. But again, you know, there's no evidence for it right now because we have a complete corrective structure to the downside. We're currently moving up in quite an impulsive way. I just highlight it here to tell you, okay, this is most likely the count if support breaks. Yeah. If after 3 waves up, yellow support breaks, we most likely come down in a C wave and enter our yellow support area again. Okay. But at the moment, just there's no evidence. But a signal that this is happening would be a break below the yellow support line, the support level. Yeah, and if I zoom out again a little bit, told you about the relative or the relevant resistance levels here. The move up in this third wave should also happen in 5 waves. So we're looking for a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, a wave 5. Be aware if this really is a third wave. Extensions can happen. Extensions will happen. That has to be the mindset. Yeah, they will always go higher than you think they will in a third wave. And the pullbacks will always be more shallow than you think they will. Okay, so just very important. And yeah, just prepare for that. Watch support, and then hopefully everybody's positioned. Use the bear market to be positioned, but again, you know, this could still be a high B wave, so I'm always careful. I don't want to hype people or anything. I'm just highlighting that so far the overall bullish perspective here certainly has helped us to maintain the wave count and seems to be reflecting reality. So Bitcoin is following the script at the moment pretty nicely. Yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.